What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4 here today, continuing with my Madden 17 roster reveal video, and oh yeah, we're on the Eagles, so get ready. But yeah, for this series, we're going to accomplish one of two things. Either one, you're going to get a quick look at what the Madden 17 rosters will actually look like. I think these are going to be pretty much dead on. Or two, if you don't want to make the transition to that game and you want to stick here with Madden 16, you can download these community rosters, which will be released at the completion of this series. But yeah, so before I jump into the Philadelphia Eagles, trying to hit 40 likes on this video, 40 likes, and I'll upload the next one immediately. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We're looking for 15,000 subs by the time Madden 17 comes out. And without further ado, go into the Philadelphia Eagles, which was the toughest roster to do, not because you might think, oh, God, he's going to be so biased. He's going to give these guys crazy ratings. No, I was actually pretty pissed off, and I might have lowballed a couple guys because I wasn't happy with how they played last year. But without further ado, jumping into the quarterback position, we're going to look at Mr. Sam Bradford, who we gave an 83. Could be lower, could be higher. 7-7 as a starter, 3,700 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. If you count that, he is one of the most drops of any quarterback. I think he was top 5 for sure. Just looking at the touchdowns that were dropped, he probably would have had something more around like a 25 touchdown to 10 pick kind of year if our wide receivers had good hands. So I think 83 is not too bad. But the bigger guy is Carson Wentz, the second overall pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, who we gave a 75. I can't give much more higher than that, guys, because he is classified as a unofficial redshirt for this year. It's looking, there's a couple rumblings that he might have seen some starts, but yeah. Probably gonna go with Sam Bradford here, but either or, they're gonna be fun to play with in Madden. Just if you're gonna be like me, just fuck it. We're not playing Sam Bradford. We'll just rush Carson Wentz in right away. Jumping to the running back position, we gave Darren Sproles at 84. Limited amount of stats, but still super productive last year. Only had 4 starts, 300 yards rushing, and 3 rushing touchdowns to go on with 55 receptions, 400 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown. So I mean, for how little they used him, he is the best playmaker arguably on that offense, and so I rewrote it with the 84. Ryan Mathews has an 84 as well in 6 starts, 540 yards, 6 rushing touchdowns to go with 146 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. So I mean, these are relative. I mean, overall you might be like, well, 84, 84. But I mean, these guys, look, combined, they started 10 games together and had great productive. If both these guys had even remotely close to a fair share of a 1-2, they would have had close to, debatably, this was so balanced, they might have had 1,000 yards each. So 284s there. Overall, I'm not super happy with our backfield right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kenyon Barner. We also drafted Wendell Smallwood to see some snaps. It's still a pretty cloudy situation there with DeMarco Murray moving on. Looking at the fullback, don't have a fullback yet. I wouldn't be surprised to see Doug Peterson not at a fullback. Looking at the wide receiver position, we gave Jordan Mathews an 81 overall. Last year, Jordan Mathews had 85 receptions for 997 yards and 8 touchdowns. A lot of fucking drops. Didn't hit that century mark. Look, 126 targets, 85 receptions. He probably should have had close to 100 receptions. You really need to have a big bounce back year this year, and pretty much have a short-term memory loss and just literally forget. I know concussion protocol is pretty big, but I would be upset if he got hit in the head a little bit and forgot about what happened last year. They brought in Ruben Randall from the New York Giants. He has an 81 as well. He's a very much the similar kind of playmaker as Jordan Mathews, statistically speaking. So Ruben Randall's definitely going to eat into the snaps. But outside of that, man, there are some question marks. You got Huff there with the 73. You got Gibbons 71. Agholor, very, very disappointing year. 12 starts. Only had 23 receptions, 283 yards, and 1 touchdown. I mean, that was less production than Riley Cooper had. So he needs to have a big sophomore season, or else, the bust tag is going to be warranted. So yeah, 73 for him. I can't give him much higher. Then at the tight end position, Zach Ertz, we gave him a 91 overall, 75 receptions, 853 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he is borderline a top 5 tight end, and he is, for the most part, underwhelmed. He has not lived up to his full expectations. He has all the potential in the world to be considered. Maybe not with the Gronkowski. He's not that type of player. He doesn't block. But with the Greg Olsons of the world, who else is a good tight end? Julius Thomas that year where they had with the Denver Broncos. Just Tyler Eifert. Those guys there. I think he has all the potential in the world. I think he's going to have a big year this year. And then we also showed some love to Brent Selleck, who we gave an 83. Definitely much more. He must grade out as one of the best blockers in the NFL from the tight end position. Had 400 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns as well. Great tight end tandem they have here with Philadelphia. I'd say top 5 in the league for sure. Look at the offensive line. We gave Jason Peters an 88. Left guard Steven Wisniewski at 83. That was just more of I converted. He was a center. when he was with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I converted him just right away, and he was like an 87 actually when I converted him from a center to a guard, just because how his stats went. And that was our base stats. That was like when Madden left it. So I just knocked down a couple grades. He's probably not an 83, and it sounds like Peterson might be going with Barbara here at left guard. You got Simu Alo, the third-round pick. But what was Wisniewski starting at guard here? Center Jason Kelsey, we gave him an 86. At right guard, Brandon Brooke, the big signing from the Houston Texans, 86 as well. And at right tackle, Lane Johnson, 87. And this was maybe I was being a little too hard. I think he was like in the 90s in the last Madden roster. And I was like, let's just. He did not really have that great of a year. I mean, he's previous. Did he make the All-Pro or like first or second team? I think he had a down year last year a little bit, regressed slightly, but then again, the whole team was not that great. But I gave him an 87. But I could definitely see me actually bumping that up to something in the 90s, like a 90 on the dot. Now jump to the defensive side of things, where ratings had to get adjusted because I was making a bunch of changes. They went from a 3-4 to a 4-3, so guys that played, defensive end are moving the linebacker, vice versa. So we got Connor Barwin here at left end, 87. That was just a straight swap. He didn't really deserve. His stats weren't there, but he's still the same player. He didn't have a big 7 sacks last year as opposed to having 14 or whatever the year before. But moving him from outside linebacker to defensive end, it made him like a 96 or something crazy like that. I was like, all right, we'll tone that down a little bit to an 86 or 87, sorry. And then my boy Vinny Curry, 86 here. I think Vinny Curry out of the two will actually start, and I would definitely expect a big season from Vinny Curry this coming year. Right defensive end, Brandon Graham, 91. Another, I'm pretty sure when I moved him from right outside linebacker to defensive end, it was like 99, like a 99 on the dot. I was like, all right, we'll move it down to a 91. Brandon Graham had only started 10 games and had 6.5 sacks and 40 tackles. Again, this is like one of those tough things where, production-wise, if this was any other team, I'd be like, all right, you're going to get like an 84. But then again, you have the position change and all that stuff to do with. So 91, but I could definitely see me knocking this down a couple grades here if you guys think I should. Then again, most of you guys watching this are Eagle fans. You're like, no, that's cool. Keep it there. Look at defensive tackle, Fletcher Cox, 98. I think he is a top 5 defensive player in the NFL, regardless of position. I really wish they got that contract situated. 16 starts last year. He had 3 forced fumbles, 9.5 sacks, and 71 tackles. I mean, this guy is an all-pro in every aspect of the word. The best defensive player I think the Philadelphia Eagles have had on the defensive front since Reggie White. So 98 for Fletcher Cox, very deserved. And then Bennie Logan, 83. I might have lowballed this a little bit, but I think Bennie Logan earned an 83. Last year, what did you do for me? 14 starts at the nose tackle position, 1 sack, and almost 50 total tackles. I definitely do see him as a 4-3 defensive tackle more than a nose tackle, and this guy's an absolute beast. Him and Fletcher Cox in the middle is it's a goddamn dream. It's a goddamn dream. Look at the linebacker situation. Michael Kendricks, 88 overall. A little bit of a down year. Again, this is more of a position change, moving from a middle to an outside linebacker. Last year, Kendricks started in 13 games, had 3 pass deflections, 1 forced fumbles, 3 sacks, and 81 total tackles. I could definitely see him being like an 86, 87, maybe 88 is a little too high, but I think personally this is a fair rating for him. Middle linebacker, Jordan Hicks, we gave him an 80. I wish he fucking stayed healthy. He would have been defensive rookie of the year, and I would have bet the house on that if he stayed healthy. 5 starts, 2 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, 1 sack, almost 60 tackles. I mean, this guy was an absolute beast. Ended Tony Romo's season. Took it to the house the second game against Dallas Cowboys. Had that, I believe it was a fumble. It was a fumble or a touchdown that he took to the house. I mean, this guy is the Dallas Cowboy killer, and he's a big time player. And I think he is the future of this team and the defense at 23 years old. Great pick, Mr. Chip Kelly, for as much as I want to give you shit. Great pick here with Jordan Hicks. Then a right outside linebacker, Nigel Bradham, coming from the Buffalo Bills. We gave him a 79. You got old Marcus Smith still hanging around there, 71. Now look at the secondary, which for me is the biggest question mark on this team. Nolan Carroll, we gave him a 77 in 11 starts last year. He had 2 interceptions and just over 50 total tackles. And then you got Leos McKelvin moving from the Buffalo Bills with a 76. Eric Rose, 74. He needs to have a big year. He needs to come on pretty... forget about that Thanksgiving Day game against the Detroit Lions and getting raped by Calvin Johnson. And really needs to be a starter. I mean, I don't think we can go with Nolan Carroll and McKelvin as our 2 starters. Then you got Jalen Smills, our 7th round pick that was graded as like a 2nd, 3rd. I think he will definitely get some playing time this year as well. Look at the free safeties, though. I think this is the best safety tandem I've ever seen in my time as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Malcolm Jenkins, we gave him a 95. Probably the best player pound for pound on the Eagles last year. 16 starts, 2 interceptions, 10 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles, and over 100 total tackles. This guy was an absolute monster, so the 95 is earned. And then bringing in Rodney McLeod from the Los Angeles Rams, 84 overall for him. Looking at the kicker, Cody Parkey and Sturgis. I think Parkey will get his job back with the 80 overall. And punter Donnie Jones, long ball himself, 81 for their, an average, above average special teams unit that the Eagles have. So there you have it, guys. Those are my Madden 17 ratings for the Eagles. Went on a little bit longer, but I mean, it is the Eagles. We'll talk about them a little more in depth. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, try to hit 40 likes on it, and I'll upload the next one immediately. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We're looking for 15,000 subs by the time Madden 17 comes out. And that does it for me here today, guys. Thank you for watching. And until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out.